The Call of Cthulhu depicts a sunken city that rose up from the depths of the Pacific Ocean. In this story, an uncharted island, previously unknown, was discovered by a few survivors of a pirate attack. As the survivors left their ship and stepped foot onto the island, suddenly, one man was snatched mysteriously. His cries were sudden, then disappeared into the night. Then, the rest of the crew saw the beast. As Lovecraft writes, "The thing cannot be described. There is no language for such abysms of shrieking and immemorial lunacy. A mountain walked or stumbled. A pulpy, tentacled head surmounted a grotesque and scaly body with rudimentary wings. But it was the general outline of the whole which made it most shockingly frightful. Cthulhu had risen, its unholiness had breached the world of man, and the terror it would bring was unfathomable. Though the horrors of the South Pacific in this short story are mere fiction, what lies there in reality may be far more frightening than a tentacled monster. Plastic." I'm sure all of our listeners are aware of the problem of the plastic crisis. However, I'm not entirely sure if everybody understands the scale of this issue. So here's a little background on plastic waste. We produce a little over 300 million tons of plastic globally every year, a number that continues to rise annually. This number becomes even more staggering when you understand that the vast majority of these plastics are created only to serve a short purpose, and are rapidly converted to waste once we are finished with them. Of the plastic produced, over 8 million tons of plastic ends up in the natural environment each year. This mass is equivalent to over 5,000 blue whales. What is perhaps the most concerning part of this plastic pollution is that most plastics take almost 1,000 years to decompose. So when they get into the environment, they stay there and continue to pollute. Depending on the size, density, and location of these plastic pieces, they may wash ashore, sink to the ocean floor, or get trapped in oceanic currents. Of this plastic in the environment, most of it was first disposed of in landfills, but ends up being carried through river systems and eventually all the way out into the open ocean. From there, it is brought by ocean currents to the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, a conglomeration of garbage in the Pacific Ocean, which is 2 times the size of Texas. So you're probably wondering how a garbage patch twice the size of Texas can naturally form in our ocean. Garbage patches are large areas of the ocean where litter, fishing gear, and other debris collects. The garbage patches are formed by rotating ocean currents, which are called gyres. Gyres can be thought of as big whirlpools that pull objects into one location, often to the center of it, forming patches. Throughout our world's oceans, there are 5 gyres, 1 in the Indian Ocean, 2 in the Atlantic Ocean, and 2 in the Pacific Ocean. Japan and the United States are the main contributors to our trash island. These 2 countries contribute the most to the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, dumping garbage ranging from truck tires to lighters to bottle caps. Additionally, the United States is one of the top producers of plastic resin, which is necessary for the construction of plastic products. The US also has the highest per capita waste in the world. Because of these factors, recycling facilities are being overrun, as they were not built to withstand such an influx of plastics. As these facilities become more overwhelmed, illegal dumping and improper waste disposal has increased. This, combined with the leaking from the landfills, results in more plastic entering our oceans each year, on a direct course to Trash Island. Our focus, the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, is centered on the Midway Atoll, located halfway between the west coast of the United States and the eastern coast of Japan. This geographical region is affected by both of the Pacific Ocean gyres, which is why there has been such an immense collection of waste in this area. This area is often called a gyre within a gyre. Because of this unique ocean mechanic, this garbage patch has become the largest plastic buildup in the world. In a recent study from 2015 to 2017, a group of researchers led by Laurent LeBreton provided the most detailed estimates of the current size and composition of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, estimating the patch to be 1.6 million kilometers squared, which is 4.5 times the size of Germany. This trash island is composed of mainly plastics, with 25% of the marine litter being microplastics, which come from the breakdown of plastics into microscopic pieces over time. These plastic particles can present issues to both marine life and humans alike. You're probably wondering, if this garbage is all together in one spot, it can't be causing too many problems, right? Wrong. This garbage patch has a massively negative impact on the environment. As said before, perhaps the most pressing negative environmental effect for humans and animals stemming from the Great Pacific Garbage Patch concerns microplastics. The microplastics, which encompass a large portion of the patch, are being ingested by fish and other wildlife. These microplastics then continue to move up the food chain, eventually reaching humans. Over 700 marine species are known to ingest plastic, including over 200 species of fish that humans eat. The effect of this plastic ingestion has only just begun to be studied, and it has been shown to have a variety of negative health effects for humans. Another negative effect of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch is the increase in possibility of entanglement and ghost fishing. Ghost fishing and entanglement is where ghost nets and plastic debris can trap or wrap around animals, injuring and possibly killing them. The formation of a garbage patch of this incredible size only heightens the possibility of this. Additionally, marine debris can transport species from one place to another. If the transported species is invasive and can settle and establish in a new environment, it can outcompete or overcrowd native species, thereby disrupting the environment. The formation of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch facilitates this process, for as plastic waste is dragged by gyres into the Pacific, it carries whatever wildlife clings to its unnatural structure. The question still remains, what is being done to combat this? The Ocean Cleanup nonprofit organization is at the center of many of the cleanup efforts. This organization has been developing and scaling technologies to rid the oceans of plastic, recently creating a device that can successfully capture plastic waste in the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. That device is a 2,000-foot long floating tube that skims the surface of the water to catch plastic. The next step in the process is to recycle the materials into new, sustainable products. This device can be seen at work in the video on your screen. Using this device, their goal is to eventually rid the oceans of all plastic debris. Though this seems like reason for hope, the ocean cleanup is not without their faults, as they are criticized for receiving millions in donations and inflating expectations without true progress. What is perhaps more important than massive efforts by heavily funded organizations is the little things you can do. Above all else, it is important for people to do the basics in being responsible with their waste. Use a reusable water bottle, use cloth bags at stores, and recycle. To truly fix this problem, the worldwide attitude on plastic waste has to change. A greater emphasis by both the private and public sectors is needed, and the only way to propel this is by controlling your own consumption.